Welcome again to Grace Force YouTube. It's the oldest question in the world. Why doesn't God do something to stop that? I'm reading a book called City of Joy about a Catholic priest from Poland who gives his life to go to Calcutta. I've been to Calcutta. I've seen some of these slums. He doesn't live outside and come in. He lives in the slum. Little terrible, pitiful room. He's sleeping on a mat on the ground. There's mosquitoes, there's rats, everything. He eats what they eat. He sleeps where they sleep. He bathes at the fountain just like everyone else. Uses the sewer just like everyone else. It's terrible. Nobody can believe that he's actually there. But at night, in the room above him, where there's a huge family that are just terribly poor, Muslim family, there's a boy that's dying. And he's just screaming and moaning in pain. And finally, after a few days, the family trusts him, even though he's Catholic and they're Muslim, to let him come up and pray for him. And the boy smiles, and he's just a lovely boy, but he's an innocent boy who's going to die. And he's in terrible pain. And the priest just can't handle it. It's one thing to have all the rest of this terrible slum, but this is just over the line. He spends hours in front of a picture of Jesus, begging Jesus to do something. He has a picture of his favorite saint, and he prays to the saint. And of course, the mother is praying to her, Allah, God, and other people are coming. There's 70,000 people in this little tiny place, like 3 football fields. Everybody is starving. Thousands and thousands of people have no work. They've left their farms because there is nothing to do there, no food there. Terrible drought. So now they got to come here and try to make some money to send money back to them. And it's just a terrible place. The priest sort of has dealt with that. But this case, this constant moaning by an innocent boy who did nothing wrong to be in this situation. These people are living in just hovels. People are living in a few feet of cement. That's their spot. Fathers going ever trying to find a little bit of work, bring back a little bit of food, going through trash, kids out begging. It's terrible. But this is the worst. And some reason he doesn't fight with God with all the rest of it. Why is God allowing the slum at all? Why doesn't God do something about the drought? Put rain. He doesn't fight with God about those things. But the case of this innocent boy who did nothing wrong, whose mother prays to her God every day. Neighbors come from all around to pray for him every day. And the boy smiles and he greets everyone, and the mother smiles. They're gracious, kind, good people. Don't deserve this. And the boy is still dying. And the priest just can barely handle it. Why isn't God doing something? And then they come and they say, the boy has died. Would you come and say a prayer over him? He's a Catholic priest. But he comes up and does the sign of the cross and says a little prayer of blessing over the boy. And they cover him and they make a little procession. And they go through the terrible slum crowds and out to the cemetery and bury him with all the others. And he said it doesn't even make an impression on the people because there's these processions all day, every day. What do we do with this? What's your answer? If we believe that God did the miracles in the Bible, and we believe that sometimes God does seem to step in once in a while, then why not here? If God steps in here, shouldn't there be a line that triggers God to act? If we could just learn what that level was, or is God arbitrary and whimsical and just whenever the thing strikes him, the priest would step in. You and I would step in. I would send the rain. I would do something. Take the boy to the hospital. Do something. If it was up to us, why doesn't God? We have the usual answer. God has to respect free choice. He has to let the world go free to a great degree. If he forces his way in all the time to do miracles, then people would have to believe. If the Muslim imam came up to that room and prayed over that boy and he is well, the whole crowd, everybody would have to become Islam. You and I would come too. We have to learn from the consequences of living apart from God. If we live apart from God and then when we need help, we pray to God and God erases all the consequences, we would go right back to living apart from God. And so God has to wait until the world finally understands this is what the world would be like without God. And there would be slums and wars and bombs and cancer and diabetes and child abuse and drugs and all the rest. And innocent kids suffering in a slum. And Jesus comes down and suffers himself. And maybe we can learn from that. It's not God. He is not the one causing the suffering. He is receiving the suffering. And he doesn't sit in heaven and decide who lives and who dies, who's rich and who's poor, who lives in Beverly Hills and who lives in the slums of Calcutta on their little stretch of pavement. He loves all, blesses all, forgives all, gives life to all, and he has a home in heaven for each one. And someday we'll get the chance for him to pull back the curtain and fill in the gaps that we don't have all the answers for yet. In the meantime, we hold on to Jesus. And we do what we can to relieve the suffering that's right in front of us wherever God calls us. Like God called that priest to invest his life into that place. My parents went to Thailand. We all do what God calls us to do. And we point the finger at the one who is behind it all. And it's not God. It's not God. Join us again next time. God bless you all. So we'd love it if you enjoy what we have made, if you can like it and forward it on to other people, and we'll build the ministry on social media, Grace Force YouTube. God bless.